Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susie and today I wanted to show you something really fun that I recently put up, and I wanted to share the process because I actually decided to go ahead and hand letter on this, and it was really fun. I shared the process over on Instagram. If you follow me there at How to Hand Letter, you probably already know that I'm a huge fan of gardening. I mostly grow food and I love it. It is one of my creative hobbies, and I wanted to share this new garden that I received. This is not a sponsored video, but Greenstalk did send this to me, and they also gave me a discount code for you that I will put in the description box below. But you can use the code Susie10 for $10 off your own Greenstalk garden if you are in the market. I just recently planted my fall garden, and if you are not sure what to plant in your fall garden, you can check for your garden for sure. But I planted some lettuce, some kale, spinach, and a little bit of butter lettuce, I think. And then I planted some beets, and I'm trying to give a little bit of nutrients back into the soil. And then in my vertical garden, I will show you what I planted here because you'll see me letter on it. But I planted some herbs and some lettuce, but you will see as I am lettering on it. So I wanted to show you how fun this was because I have a terrible habit of planting things and not labeling my garden, and then when things start to grow, I have no idea what it is until it gets super huge. This year I did try to label it with some popsicle sticks, and pretty quickly the writing disappeared. So with this garden, I decided I am going to letter right on the outside of it. Now, I asked on Instagram what to use, and you guys gave me a few different options. So I thought about using a chalk marker, but I ended up using this Sharpie, and I will show you some clips from Instagram because people were wondering if this is permanent or not. And it kind of, I will say it's probably not like easy to take off, not like a chalk marker maybe would have been. But I was able to get it off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a magic eraser. And so I really like that because then when it rains, it's not coming off. And I did this a little while ago, and it's still held up pretty well. So I think it has done a really great job. As you can see, you can put a lot in your vertical planter, which I really was feeling as I lettered on each individual container, and I will show you how to put it together in a little bit. But if you don't have a huge yard for a big garden, this is a great option. I love what I put in this, but I actually think next year I might get a second one and maybe do all strawberries. I don't know, I haven't had great luck with strawberries because the birds have gotten them in the past. So I thought with this, maybe I could fill it with strawberries, and then when I need to, maybe put some kind of protection around it so the birds don't get to it. If you are a gardener and you have success with strawberries or any kind of berries really, let me know because like I said, I've had success growing them and then the birds eat them. And so that's not ideal, but I would love to have strawberries. I think it would also be really pretty to just see them spilling out of the green stalk. So please leave me your berry tips if you have them below. Now, if you are here because you are just into gardening and you're wondering why I am hand lettering all over this, I typically talk a lot about hand lettering on this channel, so that is why. However, I also just thought that this was super practical. So once I got done lettering on all the pieces, it was time to put it together. You can see I've kind of stacked it just to get it out of my way behind there, but I didn't actually put it together, so it's not sturdy. Don't put it together that way. You have to actually kind of piece the pieces together so that it's sturdy. But I was just putting together this base. I do think this comes separately, so I will link that below as well. But I knew that I wanted to be able to move it around. There's also a little place for a valve for like the extra runoff water, but it looks like you can also plug it if you don't want the water to drain out, like if you want to keep it in there. So yeah, it just appears to be really well thought out, and I have not plugged mine yet. I've just left the drain. I haven't tried to use that little piece yet, so I'm not 100% sure how that works, but I have just let the extra water run off, and that seems to be really helpful. So again, this is not totally set up. These pieces go together, but I was just kind of getting it up out of the way so that we could get it outside and start filling it up. Once we had it outside, we just started filling it up from the bottom. So as you can see, we'll fill up the bottom layer and then they'll put the little piece on there, and then we'll put the next layer on and fill that one up, and so on. But make sure to follow the instructions because like I said, the pieces do kind of go together, and I will show you a close-up of that here in a minute. But when I first put it together, I actually didn't have the top piece done right. So yeah, you'll want to make sure that you follow their instructions and make sure that you have it secure. So here's a close-up of that part that you can see. So once I had it all put together, then I could finally put my plants and my seeds in it. I put a couple of pepper plants that I got, but then I did mostly seeds. I also had this on a patio, but I will probably move it out once it gets a little bit cooler. I just didn't want all of the lettuce and things like that I planted to get too hot and dried out. And then I will show you how you can water it. The cool thing about this is you just water it from the top. So like I mentioned, my lettering is pretty sturdy on there unless I scrub it off. So this can withstand sometimes when we just water the sides or when it rains or something like that. But you can just water it straight from the top and then it kind of trickles down into the other compartments, and I will show you that here. I want to mention my top is put on wrong. I kept saying that you need to make sure everything's secured in place, but I didn't have mine secured in place correctly, so please do not look at this and copy what I did. I had shoved it down so hard when I did the top that it was kind of stuck on and it felt secure, but it really wasn't. So yeah, I twisted it and got it put on correctly, but please, if you do that, make sure. Typically, I think this probably would have blown off with some wind, and you definitely don't want to lose the top piece, but I think I had just smushed it down so hard because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So I do not recommend that, but I just wanted to point that out. But I still wanted to show you this part because it is really cool how it comes down and drips down into the next one and kind of waters the entire thing. So this is really fun. If you guys are into gardening, or maybe if you're not and you just wanted to start small, I think that this is probably a really great place to start because it doesn't take up a ton of space. It's probably pretty easy to weed. I haven't really had a lot of weeds in mine, but even when I have had little worms trying to eat my lettuce, it was kind of easy to find them and see what the problem was because everything is just kind of right there. So if you're interested, again, I will leave a link in the description box below. If you guys want to follow along with my garden adventures, you can find me on Instagram. I will leave my hand lettering Instagram and then also my personal one in the description box below. Thank you so much to Greenstalk for sending this to me. I'm so excited to continue to watch it grow. Things are getting kind of big in there. So again, I will leave all the details below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.